Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's episode is going to be titled, One Foot Out the Door. Commitment is a fundamental part of life, shaping our relationships, careers, and personal growth. Yet, we've all encountered people, perhaps even been those people at times, who seem to have one foot in the door and one foot out. They hesitate, teetering on the edge of commitment without fully diving in. This half-in, half-out approach is puzzling. Why would someone choose to be only partially invested instead of fully committing? In reality, half-commitment isn't commitment at all. It's merely hesitation disguised as effort, a misleading illusion that often results in frustration for everyone involved. I've seen this behavior firsthand, especially in friendships. I've had conversations with people on apps where they initially seemed genuinely interested in forming a meaningful connection. They presented themselves as eager to build a friendship, sharing personal stories, dreams, and struggles. They spoke of commitment, not romantic commitment, but a commitment to maintaining a friendship, staying in touch, and supporting each other. Yet despite all their words, many of these people ultimately failed to follow through. One particular experience stands out. I once met someone on an app who seemed to be fully invested in getting to know me. We had engaging discussions, bonded over shared experiences, and exchanged contact information. She emphasized how much she valued loyalty and assured me she was committed to staying in touch. But within just 2 days, she vanished. No explanation, no goodbye. Just radio silence. It was disappointing, but more than that, it was confusing. How could someone claim to be committed and then disappear without a word? This wasn't even half commitment. It was mere pretense. There are many reasons people hesitate to fully commit. Fear is often a major factor. Fear of getting hurt, fear of failure, fear of losing control. Some people have been burned in past relationships and are cautious about opening up again. They might want to commit but hold back, testing the waters without fully immersing themselves. While this is understandable, it can be frustrating when they don't communicate their reservations. The real issue lies in the lack of honesty. If someone has trust issues or personal struggles preventing them from fully committing, the respectful thing to do is acknowledge it. Imagine if people simply said, "Hey, I've been hurt before, so I'm hesitant about committing fully right now. I need time to build trust." That transparency would make a world of difference. But instead, people often say they're committed when they're not, leaving others in a confusing and emotionally draining situation. I've noticed that communication skills play a big role in this dynamic. The ability to express emotions, concerns, and intentions clearly is becoming less common, and that only makes commitment more complicated. Some people struggle to articulate their fears, while others simply avoid the conversation altogether. Rather than addressing their hesitations, they default to silence or make excuses. "I've been busy. I've had a lot going on. It's not personal." But at the end of the day, genuine commitment shows through actions, not words. Through my experiences with half-committed people, I've learned an important lesson. The best way to determine what you want is by experiencing what you don't want. I remember a conversation with a friend who told me that we often don't truly understand our preferences until we confront situations that don't align with our values. This applies to friendships, careers, and personal choices. When we encounter half-committed individuals, it teaches us the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who are genuine, consistent, and truly invested. Interestingly, I've also questioned whether half-commitment is always a bad thing. Can people still care while only committing halfway? Are they holding back because they're protecting themselves? It's tempting to give others the benefit of the doubt, assuming that their hesitation doesn't necessarily mean they don't care. However, the harsh reality is that half commitment often translates to half effort. Someone who is only partially invested won't give their all, and that imbalance can create emotional strain. True commitment isn't just about saying the right things, it's about consistent action. I've never seen someone who is half committed give full effort. It simply doesn't happen. That's why being on the same page about commitment is crucial in any relationship. When one person is fully invested while the other is only halfway in, frustration is inevitable. It's heartbreaking to think you're aligned with someone, only to realize later that they never had the same level of commitment as you. What makes things even more difficult is when people deny their lack of commitment. If you call them out, they often get defensive. They argue that you're mistaken, that they truly are committed, but just going through a lot. While personal struggles are valid, they shouldn't be an excuse for inconsistency. The reality is, if someone isn't making an effort to be present, they're simply not committed. And if you bring this up and they react with anger or denial, it's likely a sign that they're unwilling to take accountability. The unfortunate truth is that many people resist responsibility when their lack of commitment is exposed. They'd rather shift blame than admit they haven't been fully invested. But not everyone reacts this way. Some people, when confronted with the truth, acknowledge their behavior. They might say, "I see where you're coming from. You're right. I haven't been fully committed." These are the people who understand the importance of accountability and respect honesty. Navigating commitment in relationships, whether platonic, romantic, or professional, requires patience, discernment, and emotional intelligence. Some people will match your level of commitment, others won't, and a few will deceive you into thinking they do. Understanding these differences helps you protect your energy and focus on the relationships that truly add value to your life. Another important lesson I've learned is that taking others' lack of commitment personally is often counterproductive. When someone is half committed, it's rarely about you, it's about them. Whether they fear vulnerability, struggle with communication, or simply don't value commitment the way you do, their inconsistency isn't a reflection of your worth. Letting go of the need for others to meet your level of commitment is freeing. Instead of wasting energy on people who hesitate, I choose to prioritize those who show up consistently. Commitment is about effort, trust, and mutual respect. Surrounding yourself with people who embody these qualities will lead to stronger, more meaningful relationships. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye for now.